Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Vlogmas Day 2. Doesn't feel very much like Vlogmas, but I got a call about an hour ago from the emergency vet where Crow has been in the ICU overnight, sort of like an update about how he's doing. He did make it through the night, but he is not doing any better, and he's maybe even doing a little bit worse. So they said that if I want to continue to do testing to figure out what's wrong, I mean, he's been on treatment and IV fluids and all this stuff all night long, and he's not any better. So if we want to do more testing to try to figure out why he is in sepsis, why his red and white blood cell counts are so low, the next step would be an ultrasound. They gave me an estimate and next steps. So to be clear, I've already spent around $1,300 to $1,400 on his care in the ICU last night and all the tests they did yesterday. The next steps would be to do an ultrasound. They want to do more blood work to see if anything's changed. And that ultrasound, the other blood work they want to do in a whole weekend of hospitalization, I think it brings my total up to $3,000 to $4,000 to get all that care for him. And I asked them currently his prognosis for like a full recovery is between like in the 0 to 30% range. So 30% or lower currently is kind of like the range they gave me for possible recovery. Now, if we do the ultrasound, that could change. If I do the ultrasound, it could show nothing. It could not help at all. I could do the ultrasound and it could show what's wrong, but it might be something we can't do anything about. Or I could do the ultrasound, it could show what's wrong, something we can fix, and then going into the weekend, he might have a higher chance of recovery. I've spoken to a lot of different people on the phone, in person. I even called my regular exotics vet and spoke to my vet there, and she was sort of like, same thing. She said that like since this is a research hospital and they have a lot of resources, so the ultrasound would be read by a radiologist. Like, they have a lot of resources. They can like keep doing testing because they have all these resources to figure out what's wrong, versus like at my regular clinic, they can do ultrasounds, but they don't have the same sort of resources to like read and treat and keep testing as they do at his current place where he's at, because it's a research facility. I was supposed to have a final today that was due at 5 p.m. But my professor, I emailed him and he was very nice. He gave me an extension. So luckily I don't have to worry about that, because I don't even know how I would have gotten that done. But I think my boyfriend and I are actually going to go to the vet to see him. And I feel like hopefully seeing him in person will give me some idea of what to do. I mean, the ultrasound, it could give us answers or it could not. And answers and solutions still cost $4,000, and he is 5.5. He has chronic ear infections. He has chronic echinoculi. Like, he's not young. He's not had zero health issues before. Like, he has chronic issues as well. I'm gonna go in to see him. I'm gonna take Luna with me. She's been quite subdued. Like, she's still eating and drinking, but she's not really like doing much besides eating and drinking and like laying down. And I'm gonna go to the vet in a few minutes. I'm gonna give them a call, let them know I'm on my way, but I will give you all updates as I have them. I know. I mean, he's... lifted up his head like once. I'm looking at him like he's clearly so bad.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, he does seem tired. Hi, Stardust. Hi. All right, everyone. I am back from the vet. It is 2 p.m. So I filmed a little bit while we visited with Crow in the room. They brought him in and we visited with him for like 15-20 minutes or so. As you can see from the footage, he has declined a lot since I dropped him off. I mean, when I dropped him off yesterday, he was still like kind of moving around and like somewhat active, but today, I mean, he could hardly hold his head up. He did have a couple like small bursts of energy where he would like try to move around or come closer to us or look curious about the room that he was in. So those were kind of encouraging to me to see that he was still had small bursts of energy. He did leave some poop while he was in the room with us as well. That looked a lot more normal. They said he's still been having diarrhea, but the poop he left in the room when he was with us was like the most normal poop he's had since he's been there. So that was also encouraging. Luna did not seem to care about him at all. She even like thumped in her carrier, but the vet tech did say that like when they've been doing stuff, they've had to like clean him or like sterilize parts with like alcohol. So my guess is that she was in an unfamiliar environment and he didn't smell like himself. He's like, because I could smell the alcohol from like where they'd had to like sanitize parts of him. So I'm sure she could smell it and that probably just completely threw her off. So, I mean, I don't think she got much out of it, but I do think hopefully he recognized her and he was able to get a little bit of comfort from us all being there. But I decided to go ahead and do the ultrasound. I was so torn about what kind of decision to make because I feel like we know what he's going through currently and we're treating symptoms, but we don't know why. And the ultrasound has the highest chance of telling us why. And so I want to find out why. And then once we find out why, we can think of, they can tell me what kind of treatments may be possible, how likely those treatments are to succeed, how much those treatments are going to cost, all those kinds of things. I just didn't feel fully confident in any of my decision options. It's just like without the ultrasound, we really don't know. So I decided to do the ultrasound and probably one more night of hospitalization and then go from there. So they're actually probably doing the ultrasound right now. They're supposed to do it around 2 p.m. and it's 2:15 right now. And they said they're going to call me after the ultrasound with updates. I feel good that I went to visit him. It was good to see him. It was sad to see him because he was obviously really, really struggling, but he's still, I could still see he has a little bit of like spark left and he's still a little bit interested in his surroundings and what's going on. So that really led me to want to do the ultrasound. So I should hear results back within the next hour or so about what can be seen on the ultrasound. I did put down deposit today of about $1,500 for charges over the past day and a deposit for the ultrasound and like future hospitalization. If I don't end up using all those hours of hospitalization, let's say something happens, I'll get refunded. It's just kind of like a placeholder, and then when the final amount is calculated, I will pay more or be refunded based off what the final amount is. I did use my care credit card just to sort of help me out and space that money out. If you all don't have a care credit card, if you qualify for a care credit card, I highly recommend just having one on hand. This is obviously not sponsored. I wish Care Credit would sponsor me, but I've had my Care Credit card since, I want to say February or March of this year. So I've had it for about 10 or so months and I haven't had to use it yet. But basically Care Credit, you can put, it's for vet bills or for human medical bills, and they have payment plans with like different APR rates. They actually have a 6-month payment plan that there is no APR, 0% APR if you pay it back in 6 months. If you don't pay back in 6 months, it's like 30% APR after that. Like, it's crazy high. But I did the 6-month no interest plan and put $1,000 of his bills on there so that I can take the next 6 months to sort of pay that off, and I don't have to drain my pet savings or my personal savings in case other emergencies come up. I just don't want to drain that money all at once. I do have it, but I don't want to drain it, so I put it on the Care credit card, and I'll be slowly paying that off over the next 6 months. So if you don't have a Care credit card, I recommend getting one in case an emergency comes up. Obviously, you never know how bad things could get or what you may have to pay. So that is the update on Crow. Hopefully I'll have more updates in a bit about the results of his ultrasound for you all. Now I'm going to clean this room and get some work done. Yeah, and just wait for the ultrasound results, and I will be checking back in with you all soon. Come here, Stardust. You don't want some? Look. She's acting so skittish. I don't really know why. Stardust. There we go. This is not for you. Look at her leg in the back. You're so funny. Hey, buddy. Hey. How are we doing? Are you doing good today? Yeah. All right, everyone. So it is much later in the evening. I think it's around a little bit after 7 p.m. I did get a call from the vet about the ultrasound results around, I want to say 3 or 4. I got a call about his ultrasound. So when they did Crow's ultrasound, they did not find anything that would change their treatment plan. So the ultrasound did not reveal the cause of all his GI issues, or the cause of his sepsis, or the cause of his low red and white blood cell counts. They still can't find like the root cause of what made this happen. The ultrasound did confirm that there is no like free fluids, I think was the term they used. Like there wasn't any just like fluid like free in his system, not where it belonged. There is no obstruction. The x-ray showed there probably wasn't an obstruction, but the ultrasound kind of confirmed that, like definitely no obstruction in his GI tract. There's no like masses or anything, like nothing visible on the ultrasound that is like the cause of the problem or something we could tackle. So I'm giving him another 24 hours. Essentially, they're not doing anything different than they did the past 24 hours because none of the testing revealed that they should be doing anything differently besides, you know, the antibiotics and everything else, and the IV fluid and pain meds. I think they may have upped his pain medication a little bit, but I'm going to get a call from them tomorrow morning, assuming everything goes well tonight, and assuming, you know, he makes it through the night. I'm going to get a call in the morning on how he's doing, and I think tomorrow afternoon I'm just really going to have to evaluate his chances of improving and his chances of, you know, making a full recovery. I mean, tomorrow afternoon will have been 48 hours since he went into the ICU at the emergency vet, and after 48 hours, if he has made no improvement, I'm probably going to be seriously considering euthanasia. I don't want to speak too soon because I am hopeful that we will see improvements tonight and that they will call me in the morning with good news. I wouldn't say I'm hopeful, actually. I don't want to get my hopes up that things tomorrow are going to be better, and I guess I'm kind of preparing myself for the worst, but I do have hope. Like, I am hoping that I will have good news tomorrow and he will improve overnight, but like the chances of that statistically are not that likely, so I'm not like super hopeful. I don't know how to explain it, you know, like I'm sort of just like preparing myself for the worst, but I mean, obviously I'm really, like, I hope he makes a turnaround and he improves. But that is the update on Crow, and that is probably the last update on Crow for this video. I did clean the room and I did clean the cages, so I'm gonna go ahead and show you all that because I feel good now that everything is clean. It was very stressful to be in this room because it was so cluttered and dirty, and I couldn't even like sit in here. And then that was sort of like adding on to my stress about Crow, like being in like such a cluttered room, worried about Crow. Like, it just wasn't a good environment. So I'm very glad I cleaned it. I'm going to show you guys the room. And sorry if you can hear my like washer running in the background. I'm washing some of the pig stuff right now, just a little bit so I can go longer before going to the laundromat. But I cleaned everyone's little cage, and something that I got for Rocket, I actually got him this little Oxbow litter box. It's actually advertised for rabbits, but as you can see, I think it's a good size for one guinea pig. I can't even imagine a rabbit like fully being able to sit and turn around in that. But for one guinea pig, I really like it. He's actually been using it super well, like practically only going in this front corner. So he's kind of litter trained himself with it. And it also like fits very well in his cage where he still has enough running room, because my other size litter box that's a little bit bigger than that can fit 2 pigs was just taking up too much space in his cage. This way he can still do zoomies and everything. So that's good. And then I cleaned the floor. It looks immaculate. I'm always so happy when the floor looks clean, and then it only lasts like, I don't know, 30 minutes. But all the cages are clean as well. Spot cleans up top and down below. This is Stardust's 4th round of critical care. She finished her 3rd bowl, and I immediately gave her a 4th, and I just think that she wasn't ready. She had a couple bites. I was gonna say bites, but it's not really bite. A couple drinks, sips. And then she kind of walked away from it, so I put it back up here. I'm gonna put it back down in maybe like 30 minutes or so and see if she's hungry again. But everything is clean in here, and all that's left to do to take care of everyone tonight is just to do their veggies. And here's Luna. She's been kind of weird today. Like, I'll come over and I'll give her affection and I'll pet her, like thinking that maybe she's lonely, and then she does this where she just sort of turns around. I don't know if she's like kind of mad at me, if she thinks like I'm the reason Crow is gone, but this is actually better than she's been today. A lot of the time earlier, as soon as I would go to pet her, she would just immediately turn away, but this is kind of a little bit better. Hi, baby. She hasn't been doing much besides sleeping and eating. So she'll sleep, and then she'll come over here, she'll drink some water, she'll eat some hay, she'll pee, she'll poop, and then she'll go back and she'll sleep some more, which I feel like is pretty standard right now. I'm sure she's very confused what's going on. She also needs a good brushing. Like, she's molting a ton, but they really hate brushing, and I really don't want to stress her out more right now. So I'm just trying to do as much as I can with my hands, and then I'll probably brush her next week, because with brushing, they get kind of stressed by it. She's probably already stressed and confused, so I don't want to make anything worse. Hi, baby. I know. Thank you all for watching today's vlog, and thank you all to everyone who has said kind words and support for Crow here and on Instagram. I really do appreciate it. Hopefully tomorrow is good news. As always, early updates are out on my Instagram, and I will be also updating you all here on YouTube every day this month. Vlogmas, hopefully in a few days, Vlogmas will get more festive. But for now, I'm just hoping Crow pulls through the night and makes improvements in the morning. But I will see you all tomorrow with another update. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.